Hey there YouTube, just wanted to give you a quick little review on two watches that I purchased recently, the Nixon 5130. To my left I have the 5130 chrono with the polyurethane band. To my right I have the 5130 PU with also the polyurethane band. I was actually very lucky to pick up this guy on my left right here, the 5130 chrono with the polyurethane band, because for some reason Nixon is not offering this watch with this band. I believe that if you are interested in the 5130 chrono, you are only able to get it with the stainless steel band or with the leather band. I was actually very lucky to pick this up. Called my local ski pro looking for the 5130 PU with the polyurethane band. They said they had some in stock. Went down there, saw this guy, knew that it was going to be very hard to pick one up because they weren't selling them anymore. So I picked up this, and I picked up this guy also. Couldn't be happier with my purchase. So, like I said, just wanted to get into this little review here, give you guys, my insight on what I like, what I don't like about the watches, and just kind of take it from there. So please feel free to comment, let me know your thoughts, and let's get into this. Well, the 5130, in my opinion, awesome watch. It is huge, very, very huge. These two watches by far are the biggest faced watches that I've owned ever in my life, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys a comparison of what I'm talking about. I have two watches that I'm going to be placing next to them. One of them is a Fossil watch and one of them is a Guess watch, and these are about the same, or size wise these are about the biggest that I've ever gone as far as a face for a watch goes. And like I said, I just kind of want to put it next to them so you guys could, just see what I'm talking about as far as size. That's what I'm talking about. These watches, guys, right here are not small watches. These are decently sized watches, or pretty much the standard as far as big goes in normal watches. And you can see how the 5130 just dwarfs these watches right here. I mean, they are huge. But I also wanted to get into it and just stress that even though these watches are by far bigger than a normal sized watch, it's not that it's a bad thing. In my opinion, these aren't overly big where it's just disgusting. These are they're awesome watches. I think they're classy. They are built like tanks. I mean, no joke. These things are heavy. And that's another thing that I think strays people away from these Nixons, is because, the weight. And that's another reason why I wanted these watches with the polyurethane band, because it takes away from the weight. I know that the chain or the metal link ones are very popular, and those things, guys, are just heavy. They're extremely heavy. I tried purchasing one, had it fitted and everything. I just could not get used to the weight. I had left the store, I had walked around the mall, and I had it on for maybe about a half an hour, and every single minute of that time my mind was on that watch because of the weight and how it felt on my wrist. So I took it back, and I thought that I was never going to own a Nixon. That's when I started finding out that they made these guys in the polyurethane band. Decided to give it another shot. Loved them so much that, as you can see, I bought two. Well, let me just also say, when this thing goes on, yeah, you can feel the weight, but it's mostly on top, and it's not like overbearing. It's almost like, if you want to say it's pretty much balanced between your wrist and your hand and everything. It's not something that you're going to think about all day. Another thing I like about the 5130 with the polyurethane band is that I can get a better fit than I can with the chain link one or metal link one, or whatever you want to call it. That's one of the reasons why I like this band more. The 5130 chrono with the metal band, I got it to fit, but it wasn't comfortable. This thing, I have some, playing around with, room and this and that, and I can get it to where I like it. These watches are awesome, guys. If you're really interested in a classy, in my opinion, classy, very nice, sharp, attention-grabbing watch, you will not go wrong with this. This thing is just awesome. It feels like it will last you for years. I mean, it is just built like a tank. This thing has quality written all over it. The only thing that I did not like about this watch is that when you put it on, as you can see here, you set it to however you want. I like my watches a little snug. And with that being said, when I'm doing something like driving where my wrist is like, where my hand and my wrist are like this, or just kind of like moving it around, this little part right here will sometimes dig into my wrist. It's not that it hurts, but once in a while it's an annoying thing. And I've gotten used to it, but some other people may not. So that's pretty much the only gripe that I have about this watch. And you can see right here, I'm hoping that it'll get on camera, this thing is pretty much ridged pretty well, where it's got a little sharpness to it. And you know, like I said, it's more annoying than anything, but it's not something where I would be like, well, you know, I gotta take this watch back because it's not for me. Just wanted to give you guys a little, you know, that little pointer right there in case you're interested in this watch. The other thing that I wanted to go into was with this guy right here, the 5130 PU. This thing is, in my opinion, just gorgeous. I love the white band on it. It just, you know, it just looks clean. It gets, by far, it gets the most stares out of this watch right here. And I also have a couple of the Nixon rubber players. And by far, this watch just gets the most attention. I also just want to warn you guys. I had originally gone to a local place to check out Nixon watches before I bought these two right here, and I saw this watch in their case. I saw it, I immediately fell in love. Asked the guy if I could check it out. He pulls it out. I look at it, and for some reason it was like yellow right here, and it was white under here, and it was blotched in different places. I asked the guy if the watch was supposed to come like that, and he's just like, well, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, why does it look like that? I mean, these watches are not, you know, cheap. They cost a pretty penny, so I was wanting to know exactly why it had looked the way that it looked. Well, I found out it was because the 5130 PU in the white band that they had at that shop was sitting under the light so long that the light actually bleached the band in different spots. So I was like, you know what, I can't pick this up. It looks like this. I don't know if it'll come clean, yada yada. So I left. I was a little disappointed, but I wanted that watch. But I had to do a little research first. I decided to call Nixon, ask them about it, if they knew of any techniques to keep their watches clean, because let's just face it, guys, this is polyurethane, it's white, it's going to stain, it's going to do something, so I wanted to make sure that I was as informed as possible about how to clean this before I was going to spend the money to buy this watch. Nixon pretty much said, you know, just a little soap and water and you should be good to go. Well, you know, okay, we'll see. So I did a little reading on the web, and I guess people with polyurethane band watches in white have been using different things that have worked and that haven't worked. And one thing that I read about was magic erasers. I guess the Arm & Hammer, I believe, is the people that make the magic erasers. And I've used those things in my house, in my tub, on my walls, everything, and they've worked beautifully. So I figured, you know what, with reading about that, listening to what Nixon said, you know what, I'm going to go out on a whim, I'm going to buy it as soon as I'm done wearing it, you know, every day or whenever I do use it. This isn't an everyday watch, this is once in a while type of watch. When I'm done wearing it, I'll just clean it up really well, keep it in a cupboard, you know, where there's no light that gets to it, and it should last me for a while. And you know what, I haven't really been that careful with it, and I haven't seen any signs of fading or turning colors or anything like that. I mean, I have cleaned it after I've, you know, worn it every single time, but it's holding up pretty well. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, so that way in case you're interested in this watch and you get it and there is a stain or something that happens with it, you know, so that way you know ahead of time before spending the money on it, because I know how annoying it is to buy something, really love it, and then find a flaw in it and then be like, oh no, 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 this and that. So, you know, that's really the only gripe I have about this watch right here. But Nixon did also say that if there is discoloring or something like that, I could send it in and I could get it replaced. Now I don't know if they would charge or what, but they did offer that. So, you know, just wanted to give that, you know, to you guys and, you know, let you know. So other than that, like I said, these watches are awesome. I love them. Please feel free to comment. Have any questions about these watches, things that I did not cover, just go ahead, feel free, leave me a comment, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. So I hope you guys like this little review that I did. Like I said, the Nixon 5130, just awesome, big, classy watches. I don't think that you can go wrong when you buy these. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you soon.